Like, I want to thank everybody who came out tonight. I mean, that's, I thought when we got going a little bit, I thought our crowd got involved, especially at the end. We talked about over the last couple of days of being really, really better defensively. Didn't feel like at Wake Forest or Virginia we put any game pressure on them with our defense. And so I told this bunch, I said, hey, I'm not worried about offense right now. If you defend like we're capable of, the offense will go. And then surely it happened. I thought JT was really good down the stretch. Did a good job, hit some big shots for us. I thought we completely locked in. We didn't have as many scouting report breakdowns. And that's the one thing that we've been talking about. Our ball screen defense hadn't been very good. And I thought we locked in and we really did a good job with that part of it. So proud of our guys. ACC wins, you guys know how hard they are. And it seems like every time Notre Dame and we play Notre Dame, it's a 1-point game somewhere. But very excited to get out there with the win and something that we can build on. Question?
Kevin, what's going through your mind after that final buzzer? You guys get the stop and the win there.
Well, what was going through my mind is like, he better not make this shot. Like, he better not make this shot. I thought we did a really good job. Like, Ben stayed with him for about 4 seconds. Then we exited out. The one thing we didn't want to do is give Marcus Burton his right hand. We knew if he got to his right hand, he could get all the way to the rim. But we knew who the ball was going to go to. And I thought JT did a good job challenging it at the end. And then obviously we got our hands on the ball to get a rebound.
Responding with a win tonight after what went down in Wake Forest, what does that speak to the team's resiliency?
Well, we got competitors in that locker room, and we didn't like the way we played. I mean, we really didn't. And, this is, as we go through this season, we're going to have ups and downs. We completely know that. Not only us, everybody in our league and everybody in the country. It's can you bounce back and get better? And, we looked at the schedule. We knew we had a really good Notre Dame team coming in, especially, when Burton returned. Obviously he had 23 points out his first time back. But we didn't like the way we played, especially on the defensive end, and we wanted to get better.
What was kind of the message at halftime going in with a 7-point deficit?
Just continue to play. We talked about the couple things that we did to give them the lead. We had a couple breakdowns. We let Tay Davis get to his right hand. We had a couple 50-50 balls that we did not get. And I was like, that's the difference in the game. And so we talked about that and how can we clean it up. But what was important to us is that we came out in the second half and played really well. This particular team hadn't had a great second half, and we were able to put one together tonight.
I'm sure it's talked about at Wake Forest, but that second half at UVA, the team lost focus. What was the difference today? It didn't seem like they lost that.
Well, we talked about it. Like, you got to stay locked in. And one thing that we talked about is that if you're tired, take yourself out of the game. But don't be selfish and let somebody else have the opportunity.
Kevin Ben misses those 2 layups late in the second half. It was really good the rest of the way. Still in possessions for y'all and then making key free throws. What's that say about him that he put that play behind him and moves on?
Well, we need Ben on the floor. You can always say woulda, coulda, shoulda. If we have Ben at UVA, there's an opportunity that we win the game. And then obviously he comes back to the Wake Forest game, and anybody who watched the game know he was completely not Ben Middlebrooks. Today he was. I was mad at him at halftime because I thought he was out of position and got those 2 fouls called on him. But he's our energy guy. He does all of that dirty work. And with him in the game, we're a different basketball team, especially defensively.
Ben mentioned building the confidence with a win like this. Would you agree this kind of like, not the fact that you win this game, but the way you all have to come back in the second half? How does that do for your?
Yeah, I mean, it's early. I mean, you get a team, and you're going to leave out of here tonight. You're either going to be 1-3 or 2-2. 2-2 sounds a lot better than 1-3. And then you got to take care of your home and continue to grow. It's going to be a long season. We still will have a lot of opportunity in the ACC. I was watching games last night, and I was like, man, this league, it's going to be some great opportunity for some great wins, but you got to compete every night. And I thought, getting away with a good win tonight, it was a good start for us.
Speaking of Ben, how has he grown since he first got into the program last season?
He's gotten better. I mean, you want to talk about a guy who, left Clemson and was more in a backup role, playing behind P.J. Hall, who is a really good basketball player, to a guy now who is starting and playing big basketball at NC State and playing with a lot of confidence. And so it's good just to see him grow over the last couple of years.
You talk about it being a momentum changer for your program. What does Saturday's game mean to you and your program moving forward?
Just another game that we got to be ready for. I mean, we have to be ready for it, and we'll go back, in the next couple of days and see where we can clean up from this game. What I'm worried about more with us is how do we get better, because we can't focus. Our focus more going into Notre Dame was about NC State opposed to Notre Dame. So we're going to do some of the same things, like, all right, how can we get better as ourselves, and then obviously we'll turn our focus to Carolina.
Dontrez has put up back-to-back games that he's really affected, winning and just affected the game. What has it been like for you to kind of see him?
I don't know, but I was glad to see him hit that huge three. I mean, was that almost the same spot he hit the three against Florida State? I mean, he raised up and made a big three. He's growing. I mean, he's just, getting comfortable in a new system. I mean, I hate to say this, but it's the world that we're in. This is his third system. And so he's had to learn the system and understand, where his shots can come from and how he can compete and how he can play. And I thought he was really big for us today.
Coach, speaking of Dontrez Styles, will you have to have like a special message to him going into this UNC game to keep his emotions in check against his former team?
No, he came from Georgetown.
Right.
We're not playing Georgetown, are we?
Right.
No, I mean, obviously, I'm sure he wants to play well against his old team. We all do.
Which players have you seen the biggest improvements in this season?
I think, I can start with the older guys, but I'll start with Marcus Hill. I think I thought this was his best game, where he didn't force shots, he made the right play, he had great assists. I think Dontrez has grown. Of course, Ben has grown. And then, obviously, JT had a moment in the game where he really brought us back and he put us on his back a little bit. So I think all of those guys have gotten a little better, and we're going to continue to grow. We got some guys that are going to continue to feel comfortable in our system.
Talk about Ish's minutes tonight, especially with Huntley Hatfield going out. In
Yeah, it's just coming along. He's going to be able to help us. I just got to figure out, it's better when other teams have a bigger lineup and I can stick him in as a kind of a 4 or 5. But we're going to need him as the season continues. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kevin.